It's January 11th, and this is the first episode of Fishing with Friends on DOA. So today with me, back there is my good buddy Darren, who I've known for, what, 35, 36 years?
Oh, something like that.
Something like that. We go back way a long ways. And his son, Austin. So we're out on the hard water today. I wanted to get some video of us setting up, but the wind is really, really bad, and the tent's blowing around. But we're inside, we're set up, and hopefully we bring you some fish soon.
What? You know, you don't have to bob your head, just the string, eh?
Hour and a half into the fishing trip, and we've seen one fish came in, and it left just as fast as it came in. But we've shared a few stories, and letting Austin in on a few stories that Darren and I have told in the last hour and a half here of moments that have happened exactly right here on this lake from, oh man, 15, 20 years ago or so. Some fun times when we were out on Darren's boat catching fish. Another time where we had too many people in the boat and we almost capsized it, and some fishing stories from different lakes, and it's been a great day on the hard water so far. We're hoping to pull up at least one fish through the hole today, but always good to get outdoors and always good to spend it with good people. There's no fish at that spot. We're gonna change spots and hope for some better luck. We're set up in our second and probably final location of the day. Weird weather out today, windy, and it's actually raining. January 11th and raining, about +1, +2. Wind chill is about -10. We're in a different bottom here. It's a weedy bottom just off of a reed bed from shore. About 6-7 feet of water, so we're hoping the different ground on these ones has a little bit more fish activity. We're here for a couple hours, so hopefully we can get some fish up through the ice in our spot. That's what the good luck is missing, right? You turn on the camera and it'll break. If we turn on the camera, then the fish will come, because nothing else that we're doing is working.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the camera though. It's right there. We are safely off the lake, and unfortunately I was a horrible fishing guide for my buddy Darren here today, and I saw one fish, and when I called everyone over to look at it, it was gone, and the rest of the time was no fish caught whatsoever. But you know what, Darren and I talked a lot today about time, and even though today wasn't our time to catch fish, there's going to be another time, and I am going to bring him back with me again this season, and we're going to get onto some fish, and we're going to get on to more conversation. So this is the first half of Fishing with my friend Darren. Stay tuned for part 2. Well, we're back, and it's now January 25th. The weather's a little bit nicer. It's not windy. It's about -5 degrees, warming up to 0 today. And we are out here on Wabamun, out at the Fallis Point. And Darren has brought out a camera, which is pretty cool. And we've already seen a couple fish. We've seen a pike. We've seen a walleye. We haven't caught anything yet. We're out here with his son, Austin, and Austin's friend Will, so we're out here for a couple more hours this morning, and hopefully we'll get some fish through the ice this time around. But if not, we're sure to share the adventures with you.
Yeah, fishy.
So, with the episodes that I'm doing with Fishing with Friends, because the fishing action is so slow, it gives us a chance to share stories and share memories like we did on our last trip. But part of the story I wanted to share with everyone today was Darren's story. So I guess I'll let him share a little bit about it, but probably about 7-8 months ago.
Yeah, back in May.
Back in May of 2024, he found out that he had pancreatic cancer. So his life has been basically turned upside down in the last 8 months as he's tried to plan, prepare, go through treatments, and he's doing really, really well, which is good. And I've had a chance to catch up and kind of rekindle my relationship with Darren. As we grow older and we grow further apart, life happens, but we've really connected in the last few months here. And he was sharing stories with me about his outlook on time, and I wanted him to kind of share a little bit with us today. When we went out ice fishing last weekend, tell me about filling your bucket. You talk about your bucket and the joy it brings you, and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, like I went to church that night after when we came home from fishing. I went to church. I went by myself, and actually my girlfriend came with me, Pam. Saw him in the aisle. He greeted us, and then we went to sit where we normally sit in the front row. And he came up, and he never usually does, but he came up and asked us, how are you doing today? And he says, well, I went fishing. Bucket was empty, but it was sure damn full. And he's like, amen, brother. He's like, that's what you want to, end your day with. And it was one of the best days that I had in a long time, which really, really made me think it's an eye-opening for me and for my family, my son, and my everybody that has taken their time to be for me. I don't ask for anything extra. If you want to be with me, it's your choice. I'm not knocking on people's windows to say, hey, come and see me. If you want to see me, just like you used to, give me a call, give me a knock on the door, or pop in. That's the only way I'm reaching out, because there's too much out there, and my brain is just too full and it's too heavy as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we were talking about lots last time was when you said, I don't want to look too far ahead, because you waste a lot of time missing what's in front of you right now. And then when we were talking about, I can't wait for myself, I can't wait till fall, next hunting season, but all the time I'm going to miss and just fast forward through life, it happens really quick. So I definitely
live in the moment. You just want to make sure that, like tomorrow, I could possibly play hockey, but I'm not even looking into that. I'm like, we're fishing right now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to playing hockey tonight. We're fishing right now, and we've got good friends here. We're all happy and doing what God would want us to do, is to be together, be sharing our experiences, and being happy and joyful. Two things are different. Don't always go for happiness. Be joyous, and the happiness will fall right behind it. So
yeah, I guess and no different for anyone that's going through something similar that you're going through, or someone like myself who I don't think I'm going through anything, but nothing's ever guaranteed. That tomorrow is not guaranteed, right?
Exactly. You don't know that you don't have anything in you. That's not because you haven't had that scan, or that one scan that would tell you have something. But I do recommend everybody that's turning 50, go to your doctor and make sure that there could be a possibility, and you get it early if you can. You don't want to be too late, and like me, I got maybe another year. Who knows? I can fight it. Could be 2. It's hard to say, but they don't have a number, and I'm okay with that. I put stuff in order for my children, and my wife, Pam. And my brother's been my savior. Calls me every day. Before we would talk maybe once every 2 weeks. Now it's like every day. Good night, I love you. We've shared and gave each other different, memorabilia that is straight to the heart. And I've never said to my brother I love him as much as I have, and I truly do. And makes me emotional, and it's same with my parents. They're getting up there in age. They understand but to bear your own son, it's gonna be hard. So hopefully you got a good enough crew, family to help everybody get through this whole situation when I'm not here. And that's just
you learn to appreciate stuff you didn't appreciate as much as before.
Big time. You appreciate your children so much. Like unbelievable. Like, I couldn't do me spending so much time in my boys' hockey life. Wouldn't trade it for the world. 14 years of being in the arena.
The hockey dad.
Hockey dad would never miss the hockey tournament, never missed anything.
Yeah.
I would never ever turn that away for anything again. I've been a single dad since they were 2 and 4, and I wouldn't change that for the world. Even if I had to, put me into the place where I am now, I'd take it in an instant. So.
Yeah. And I guess the one thing that Darren reminded me of, and sometimes when you live the outdoor lifestyle that I do, your head gets caught up in, man, I went out today and I didn't catch a fish and I didn't see a fish, and it's always about the journey, right? I always talk about the journey and enjoying the time outside, and when I saw what bringing Darren out fishing, and trust me, the whole night before, I'm like, man, let us see fish, let us get a fish up the hole, it'll be so much fun. And we saw one fish for like I saw it like for a blink of a second, and that was it. And I felt bad. I was like, man, why can't I do better for Darren? Why can't I get him fish? And it was
it wasn't about that.
It wasn't about fish, and that's when he talks about filling his bucket, right? Like we didn't have any fish in the bucket, but that bucket was full of love, hope,
full of water. Just I call it the bucket's full of water. People keep putting their hand and taking water. Every time they put their hand in, it leaves less water and water. I was always the type to always lend a hand, and that's what church does for me. It lets me fill it back up. This is what coming here does. It fills it back up so that I have that still go-getter attitude, and that's how I see it every day and stuff like that. I have been writing a blog. It's about 100 pages now. It's a story of, it's the day one till present. There's been weeks that I haven't been so consistent. 1 week off here, 1 week off there, but I'm trying to keep everything in bay that I don't have to do that every day. When I have a chance, I'll quickly do a little, verbal thing and write it down later or whatever. Yeah. But
because although life is different for you, life is still happening. Yeah, there's still things going on.
Exactly. Like right now, I don't have time to write it. I'd rather be fishing.
Yeah. Write about it later when you download.
Or somebody else will write it down or say something at my funeral saying, you know what, man, we tried 16 times, not one fish, but man, that bucket couldn't have been bigger. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get something through the ice here, and if not, we're definitely.
Well, we saw them on the camera, so we know they're here.
Yeah, well, they're here. They're close. And if we're not catching fish, we're definitely catching memories and putting those in the memory bank for years to come, and look back on those happy times and the times that we all did share together.
Yeah, and Jesse's not here. I love him to death, and my son Austin. You guys mean more than the world to me, and 10 years from now, if you're seeing this and reading listening to this, from the bottom of my heart, I'm going to be okay, and I hope you from the time that when the time comes, you guys are ready and you have a strong foundation, and that's my goal for you guys. I am okay with everything, and I love you guys to death. All right, I love you. Love you, Jeff, too.
Good stuff, man.
Johnny. That'll be another story.
A story? Yeah. It's funny because if you're on social media, or you'll see different things, or we call each other Johnny, or
your birthday card.
Yeah, birthday card, anything, and then people will be like, "Why do you guys call each other? Is your middle name Johns?" And no, it's not. And this one goes back to. Oh man, midnight, whenever the Barks root beer was out and they had that commercial, and it was, what do you mean Bark has bite? What do you mean Bark has bite? Johnny, tell the world, Johnny! And that was just a commercial that stuck with us, so anytime we phoned or texted or called each other, it was like, hey Johnny! And the answer was, what do you mean Bark's got bite? So, his name's Johnny, my name's Johnny, we call each other Johnny, and that's just something that has stuck for many years.
One never knows what life will throw at them or the challenges someone will face during their time on Earth. My friend Darren has faced this challenge head-on with courage, bravery, and an open mind. He has found his strength through family, friends, and his church. With the ice fishing outings that we've had this past winter together, I am honored to have played a small part in his journey by getting him outdoors and having him take a liking to ice fishing, which temporarily takes his mind off his stresses and worries, even if we weren't able to pull any fish up through the ice. He has since been out on his own and been able to fight and catch fish while fighting his pancreatic cancer. His future is still unknown, but as he described in this video, he doesn't look too far ahead and lives for the moment, appreciating the time that he does have left. I love you, Johnny.